Hello, and what a beautiful day it is here. Blue skies and sunshine. And I am here with Looby Macnamara, who is a good friend and co-facilitator of the Peace Course, Peace, Empowerment and Cultural Emergence, that stands for. And she is also author of the book Cultural Emergence, which is a beautiful framework for a more regenerative culture for living in these times as we move through to the next phase of transition to a more healthy, alive and sustainable culture. And cultural emergence is also just a growing movement of people, change makers, and people like you and me who want to live in a better way, connected with nature, connected with good and healthy community, connected to something more than ourselves that wants us to live. And I love facilitating with Luby because what a privilege and an honour it is to be able to work with these tools that have come through you, Luby. Based on all the information and knowledge that you've learned in your time, and also what nature has shared with you through our connection practices and ways of being. So welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Leona. Yeah, it's delightful to co-facilitate with you. For those of you that know me, but maybe don't know Leona, I know many crossovers of people, but Leona's come from a background in social work, but then has over the last probably 2 decades been really involved in the Eight Shields movement, really done your own journey of healing and connection and growth, and has worked a lot with the Fire Quest and Nature Quest and with the Eight Shields movement. So you've just been really deeply involved, and I love when you bring the authentic ceremony and your authentic being that invites everyone else into their authentic beings into the Peace Course. So it's an honor to work with you as well, and so much fun. I think that's really a key part of it. We have so much fun and growth with singing the around the fire, and yeah, it's really wonderful. I'm wondering what really excites you about the Peace Course, Leona.
Do you know what? One of the things that I always remember about being in the village, the space that we co-create together with all the people who come together for this kind of event, and specifically for the Peace Course, is that my nervous system completely drops in. And that is something that doesn't happen very often in our culture today, to actually be able to just really allow yourself to drop and listen, and to start to kind of it's almost like becoming a different being. Our all of our senses start to open more fully. All of our heart center starts to open more fully, and being with other people for whom that's happening to, and creating the ways that make that happen, which the Eight Shields does really well. We're really good at welcoming. We're really good at really dropping into gratitude. We're really good at creating the conditions, the optimum conditions for deep connection. So it excites me just to be in a space with other change makers, with other people who are really committed to finding a more healthful way of living, especially and because of the times that we're living in today. I love and look forward to the fires and the barefoot walking on the land, and the crafting and the singing and the sharing stories. But I also really enjoy each time we do it, I learn more about the model that comes with the cultural emergence framework. Just really reminding myself again of all the ways that we get to bring that into our own lives. And yeah, it's it's definitely a highlight of my year.
Mm.
So, what's exciting you, Luby, about the Peace Course, and what ripples are in your life after we've done this each year?
Mm. Yeah, so I'm lucky enough that the Peace Course happens at my home, Applewood Permaculture Centre. So I do get chance to be on the land here, but when I'm on the land here with in the context of the Peace Course, it is very different because, as you say, the like nervous system drops, and when you do that in community with other people, it drops further and deeper and more into a state of stillness and receptivity and creativity than I can just achieve by myself, even in the same landscape, literally. So it allows that sense of community and connection with other people that invites parts of myself to grow and be revealed that I couldn't reach by myself. And that's the real value of doing something like this with other people, that through these layers of connection with the more than human world, with each other, with ourselves, each one deepens each one. Like John Young, who I've learnt a lot of this through, he talks about it like the three-legged stool, and you need to develop each one. And as it's like a stool that keeps growing, as you grow one more, the others are more capable of growing as well. So that's really excites me. And then the ripples stay with me, how I interact with the land, the map of the landscape that I have after the course changes and grows, and there's new insights that I have and new relationships that I form with more than human beings here, and in my own life, in my own way I interact with my family, with other colleagues and co-creators. Those interactions all start shifting as well. And we have we have a principle of tend to your own personal culture, which is what we do during the Peace Course that then carries on, that we then have these tools to take home and deepen into our lives so that we can maintain that sense of peace when we get home. So it's not just a one-off, beautiful, lovely, nourishing week. It's something that does carry on.
Mm.
What I'm wondering, Leona, well, also what ripples in your life, but also why is it really important at these times? Why you said like because of and despite of these times, what what why is it so important, this Peace Course and these cultural emergence tools?
Yeah, for me and what I'm seeing with the people that I work with, I'm a coach, and I also have teenagers, and we're all part of our own communities. And I wonder if it's the same for others. And I think it is. We are in peak burnout time. You know, this is a burnout culture. We are being forced to push ourselves just to stay the same. And we all know, people who are here listening to this, I expect already know that things aren't sustainable. The way that the world is using resources, the way that the systems are set up, which isn't sustainable for humans or other beings, human and non-human. You know, we are in critical times, and I mean that from the best place. You know, many of us have been preparing and knowing that this has been coming for a long time. And right now, the important thing is that we gather together and that we really tend to, as you said, that principle, attend to our own personal culture and really put connection first, which is another one of the cultural emergence principles. And there's so many cultural emergence principles that I think they work because when you look at things from a whole holistic perspective, there are many elements that make up a more healthy way of being, and it's not easy to live like that in the busyness of our everyday life. So coming together with others who are really rethinking and reinforcing and, putting in place practices and remembering practices and dreams and visions and ways of being that are better for you, better for the culture, better for your families, better for your community, in a place where we can do that together and then take it out is, I think, vital. Actually, I've seen so many people whose nervous systems are shot because of, even if you don't spend hours a day listening to the news, you just can't fail to be feeling it if you're a person, especially the people like us who've been cultivating our sensitivity and cultivating our awareness over the last years. We're going to be feeling it strongly. If we're not feeling it, then we've not really been cultivating our sensitivity, because it's happening in the field. People are stressed, people are worried, people are in uncertain times, but there is hope in that. That's a point where, when things, just like the caterpillar that's been moving on, when it becomes that imaginal mush in between, I can't imagine it's a I can't imagine what that process must be like for that being, but I know that there is a process that happens where everything becomes just these imaginal cells where anything is then possible. And I think we're in that time where everything is breaking down, and we have the power and the inspiration to re-envision what it could look like if we stepped outside of this unsustainable and destructive culture, to really, and that starts with us. It starts with us. If we're not making the space and we're not making the time for ourselves, how are we ever going to do that on a larger scale? That's what we find ourselves talking about around the fire, and that's some of the specifics of what we're doing, is really tending to the phase is called nourish and empower, and one doesn't happen without the other, and I think it's really key. So that's why I believe so much in this place and space that we create together.
Mm. Oh, I just really can't wait to be here with everyone else. So if you feel inspired, just come and find out more about the Peace Course this year, or yeah, and maybe some online, some books. There's many ways to get involved. Your podcast, Connection Matters podcast. So many ways to get involved and be part of this global movement of change makers.
Yeah, exciting times. So the dates are the 2nd to the 7th of June. You can find out more on the applewoodcourses.com website, or you can connect with Looby or I through any of the many channels, socials and email, and we'd be really happy to answer any questions if you are curious. We would love to see those of you who this resonates with there, and we'll look forward to being under the stars, on the land, feeling peace in our bones and blood, so that we can take it out into the world as we move forward in these transitional times full of possibility. Thank you.